What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sports Warrior. Today we're going to be predicting the Green Bay Packers 2024-2025 NFL schedule. Once again, this is my favorite team. I'm not going to try to be biased here, and I'm going to go with my honest predictions for every single game. Obviously, last year the Packers had a very surprising season. They did very good, and they were able to make it all the way to the NFC divisional round. So I expect more from them this year. So let's just hop right into it. Week 1, though, is a very interesting game. First ever game played in Brazil. And I think the Eagles are just going to come out a little hotter than the Packers are because the Eagles, they got a bunch of new offseason additions like Saquon Barkley. And I just think for the Packers, it's going to be a tough win to get. So I'm just going to play it fair here and give the Eagles the win. However, the Packers home opener against the Indianapolis Colts, again, Anthony Richardson, I think he could be a really good quarterback. Just it's going to take some time after he got injured last year. So week 2 may not be where he and the Colts thrive. So give me the Packers winning their home opener. Then they travel down to Tennessee, and this is a game where I think a lot of people could take the Titans very lightly. Now, if the Packers do this, it's going to cause a lot of bad stuff, and they actually may even lose the game. But I think Jordan Love, Christian Watson, this whole team is going to be able to go out and get a big W against the Tennessee Titans. Next up against the Minnesota Vikings, the Packers really split with them, and I think they'll split with them a lot, especially J.J. McCarthy now, Justin Jefferson. This team looks very healthy. I think the Vikings are actually able to pull it out in Green Bay, but like I said before, they will probably split, so we'll get to that when they do play again. Now, Week 5, the Packers travel to L.A. to play the Rams. First time Green Bay's actually been to SoFi Stadium. Matthew Stafford's there. I think the Packers are a better team. We saw it last year in the final stretches of the year trying to get into the playoffs. So I do think the Packers are a better team, and I think they will beat the Rams. Next up is the Cardinals, and they're similar to the Titans. A very winnable game, but it's just how do we know that the Packers are going to be able to handle them? For all we know, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison could be the best quarterback wide receiver duo, but I don't think it's going to happen this year, maybe a couple years from now. So I think Green Bay will win another home game against the Arizona Cardinals. Next up, the Packers play the Texans. This is going to be a great game because C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, the Texans are a really good team, do not get me wrong here, but I just think the Packers are a little bit better in a lot of aspects, and I think they go home and they beat the Texans to go on a nice little 2-game win streak. Now, they go up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are a good team. And I think last year it was just not what they really are. And I think the Packers will go into Jacksonville and get a big W there. Now for the Lions. The Lions are a great football team. They're very similar to the Vikings and the Packers. They're going to probably split this year. I think the Packers get their home victory, though, and later on will lose on the road. So give me the Green Bay Packers in this one. So up to their bye week, the Packers are 7-2, and they're doing very good right now. And this schedule actually does start to get a little harder. So first of all, they go into Chicago, Caleb Williams and the Bears. I like the whole Bears roster. I don't like the fit with Caleb Williams. I think the Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears in Chicago because, once again, they still own them. The 49ers against the Packers. This is a big game, especially for a Packers fan. 49ers have just beat us so many times over the last years. We really want that W. It's a home game, and this is where it's very tough for me to decide. But I think the 49ers are going to go get it. I think they're the best team in the NFC. Now, the Packers, this is where they start a 4-game primetime stretch. Thursday Night Football at home against the Miami Dolphins on Thanksgiving. Give me the Packers. The Dolphins are not coming into a cold Lambeau Field and getting a dub. It's just not going to happen, and that's why the Packers are going to get that big Thanksgiving win for a second straight year. Now, like I said before, Thursday Night Football versus the Lions. I told you last time that the Lions are going to split, and they will split here and win their home game. Then the Packers and the Seahawks. These two teams always have interesting matchups, but I don't think Seattle has that good quarterback. They're not a very good team right now, and I think the Packers go into Seattle, get another Sunday night victory. They go back home, play the Saints. Same thing there. Saints, they got a decent roster, but the Packers are just better, and they're going to go beat the New Orleans Saints. So, heading into the final 2 weeks of the season, the Packers are 11-4. They're probably clinched the playoff spot by now, but now it's trying to win the NFC North and maybe even get a 1 seed. That's why I think they beat the Minnesota Vikings because they lost to them earlier in the year. I think they beat them. Aaron Jones, it could be interesting. I don't know. The Packers may lose this one, but then the Packers-Bears Week 18 finale. Give me Green Bay finishing off the year at 13-4. I think they get a 2 seed. They win the NFC North. And I think they're going to have a great run in the playoffs. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.